Hello everybody and welcome back. Last time we got our second piece of the trident and we reached the town of Izumo, where we learned that the serpent of Mikage has been causing some trouble. This time we're going to head to Mount Mikage and see if we can do something about the serpent. But before that, there's actually one more NPC that I wanted to talk to that I forgot. So I'm going to make a quick visit to this house right here and speak to this lady. Susa's not here. I believe he went to Mount Mikage. He believes he can save Kushinada, and so he has gone to fight the serpent. He truly believes he can defeat the great serpent of Mikage. It is all for naught, though, as a hero will certainly appear and destroy the great serpent. If the serpent defeats Susa, I'll be alone. So yeah, and she has an interesting line of dialogue if we read her mind. I pray that our guardian's anger is not aroused and that Susa will be protected. Alright, so we did not get that information from reading her mind, but she is actually the sister of Susa. So with that, let's head for Mount Mikage. And here we are at Gaia Rock, which is what the people of Izumo call Mount Mikage. And Gaia Rock is quite unique compared to the other elemental dungeons. For one, we can actually get access to the interior section right away. And here we have what looks like a strange altar. Felix, check the altar. It looks like something can be placed here, so that will be more important later. But for now, since we can actually go straight ahead and to the entrance, let's take the direct approach and go directly to the inner chamber. Alright, I'm going to quickly set up a shortcut for move because I will be using it quite a lot here. And this is actually one of a few move puzzles that I actually like. They're usually fairly simple. You just have a stump and you just have to make it follow the lines on the ground. In this one you have a bit more of a space, although limited, and you have to maneuver around the two stumps, making so that you can get to the other side without blocking yourself out. It is still fairly simple, but it would have been nice to have similar puzzles, albeit a little bit more complex. But anyway, here we are. I was starting to wonder where the enemies were. So, here we have one new enemy and a returning enemy. First off, we have the Fire Worm. It is level 25, it has 97 HP, no synergy, 211 attack, 49 defense, 94 agility and 4 luck. It has a Venus, Jupiter and Mercury resistance of 48 and a Mars resistance of 25, and a Mars elemental power of 90. It normally yields 158 experience points, which then become 205 if we finish it off with a margin. It drops 113 coins, which then become 146, and there is a 1 in 32 chances that then become a 1 in 8 that it will drop an oil drop. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Angle Spike monster skill and the Fire Breath monster skill. And the other returning enemy, or the one returning enemy, is the Gnome Mage. It is level 25, it has 162 HP, 24 synergy, 179 attack, 50 defense, 108 agility and 8 luck. It has a Venus resistance of 48, a Mars and Mercury resistance of 72 and a Jupiter resistance of 100. It has a Mars elemental power of 85 and a Jupiter power of 100. It normally yields 86 experience points, which then become 111 if we finish it off with a Venus gene. It drops 126 coins, which then become 163, and there is a 1 in 16 chances that then become a 1 in 4 that it will drop a Crystal Powder. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Flash Bolt, Fireball and the Elude synergies. So yeah, we're a bit over leveled for the regular enemies in Gaia Rock, but that does not mean that we will not encounter a challenge, as you'll see soon enough. Alright, And speaking of odd puzzles, here we have another one. So, we have 4 possible routes, including the way we just came, and we have a screen that is covered in fog. So, as you may have guessed, we're pretty much in a Lost Woods style maze. The one way to actually not get lost is to use the growth synergy on the strange sprout right here, which will then indicate the proper way. Alright. And here we have a chest. And it contains another mimic, the 5th mimic of the game. This one is level 28, it has 707 HP, 64 synergy, 251 attack, 71 defense, 153 agility and 18 luck. Its elemental stats are the same as any other mimic. It yields 840 experience points, which then become 1092 if we finish it off with a margin. It drops 531 coins, which then become 690, and it has a guaranteed drop of a game ticket. As for its commands, it has a basic attack, the debilitate, side drain and sleep synergy that any mimic has, and its 2 new moves are the curse and sonic slash synergies. Alright, so let's see if we can get the EXP and coin boost. I'm going to first, let's actually boost everybody. Hopefully Planet Diver will deal enough damage to leave him weak enough so that we can take him out next turn with a Jin. That's a decent amount of damage. Alright, so let's use Cannon and Sharp. And why not, let's use one more high impact. And there we go. 1092 and 690. And our game ticket. Let's quickly get this back. And let's continue on. So it's an interesting idea, the whole maze. I think it's a bit too easy, you just keep using growth, and it actually goes on for a bit too long, so you do end up running out of synergy. Especially if you use it on, if you have Felix use it, since he already has fairly low synergy. Yeah, we're still not done here. But we have another chest. And we got a rusty mace. So of course we can take this to Sunshine. So let's quickly go over the new weapon. The Demon Mace has an attack boost of 115. Its unleash is called Evil Eye. It deals 38 extra Penus damage and it may inflict delusion. Alright. And here we have a new enemy, a Woodwalker. It is level 25, it has 230 HP, 21 synergy, 213 attack, 75 defense, 94 agility and 24 luck. It has a Venus resistance of 72, a Mars resistance of 25, a Jupiter resistance of 100 and a Mercury resistance of 175. And it has a Venus elemental power of 105. It normally yields 242 experience points, which then become 314 if we finish it off with a Jupiter Gem. It drops 201 coins, which then become 261, and there is a 1 in 16 chances that then become a 1 in 4 that it will drop a Bramble Seed. As for its commands, it has the basic attack and the Math Growth and Briar synergies. And it is accompanied by a Mad Vermin and a Fireworm. So, one of the, I guess, sturdiest enemies, but even then it is quite weak. And there we go. Alright. So hopefully we are near the end of the maze. Nope, not yet. Okay, I think this is the last one. Finally! And there we have Susa, and we have a room full of barrels of Dragon's Bane. Who are you? How did you get here? Only Usume, Kushinara, and I possess the ability to come here. Never mind, I don't have time to talk. I have my hands full getting the serpent to drink this. Once it's groggy, that's when I'll strike. If you understand, then get out of my way. Stand over there. Okay, so all the barrels here contain Dragon's Bane, which are actually... it's not Dragon's Bane, it's alcohol. He's trying to get the serpent drunk. That's why he used the word groggy. But it doesn't seem to be having that much of an effect. We can talk to him, but it won't do much. He pretty much says the same. One slightly interesting thing is that if we stand on the way, he actually has a line of dialogue. Move out of the way there. Sorry. Okay, and supposedly he also has the dagger that can be used to take out the serpent, but he will not hand it over to us. So we may have to take a direct approach with the serpent. But before that, I actually want to quickly try out a fighting method that I never use. I want to see if we can use a Summon Rush on the serpent. So Summon Rush is basically whenever you just go into a battle with all your Jin on standby, and you try to take out the enemy as quickly as possible by using a barrage of your strongest summons. The downside, of course, is that after the barrage of summons you are incredibly weakened, so you best hope that you've taken out your enemy by then. But anyways, let's go ahead and try that, shall we? And here we have the serpent. For once, and I'm actually not going to go over its stats, and I do have a reason for it, and you'll see soon enough. So let's quickly use all of our strongest summons. Alright, almost 900 damage from Thor. Almost 700 from the Meteor summon. $711, and we have Judgment left, but he attacked before us. Alright, a decent amount of damage. Also, you may have noticed that even though it used the Quake Sphere synergy a couple of moves back, it is actually attacking again. And yet again. The Serpent, as it is right now, will take 3 actions during its turn, which is scary enough on its own, but, as you'll see in a moment, Serpent recovers 2430 HP. So yeah, the thing that makes the Serpent such a formidable foe is that it has insane regeneration skills. So at this point, it is virtually invincible, because it took all we had to just deal slightly above the amount of damage that he can heal, and even that did not kill him. So unfortunately, as we are right now, or rather as the Serpent is right now, we cannot defeat him. I just simply wanted to show that, and also because, well, for one, I can actually show you what happens when you lose a battle, and because there is a specific cutscene that you can get if you lose to the Serpent, which hopefully we'll see soon enough. Alright, 2 down, 2 more to go. 1 down, only Pierce left. And there we go. You cannot fight the Serpent! Not while it is still in full possession of its senses! Alright, and whenever you lose in combat, you are taken to the Sanctum, with everybody dead, except for Felix, of course. So let's quickly revive everybody. Sheba. And of course Pierce. So we saw firsthand that the Dragon's Bane has not weakened the Serpent nearly enough, and we don't have access to the dagger. So the last clue that we have as to how to weaken it is Sunlight. So I'm going to make a small cut here, and I'll see you guys back at the entrance of Gaia Rock. I may also go by the inn off screen to heal up. See you guys in a moment. Welcome back. So here we are back at the entrance. Now, unfortunately the direct approach did not work out last time, so we can actually do something else. We can actually take another route through Gaia Rock. We can actually explore it from the outside. Now, usually whenever we explored Air's Rock and Aqua Rock, the very first thing that we did was trying to climb them or somehow get around them to enter it. But right now we're actually doing the opposite, because we may find a clue as to how to weaken the Serpent if we try to climb Gaia Rock itself. So that is what we're going to do now. Luckily though, even with the exterior section, Gaia Rock isn't nearly as long as Air Rock. I actually forgot to change fog here. Alright. Alright. So the proper path is the one on the left, but I actually want to go up here because there's a chest. And we have a very large vine that we just used to climb. Those will come in handy later. Alright, and here we got a nut. Alright, let's climb through here and let's drop down right here. And then up. Alright, and right there we have the same. Well, never mind, I'll go over that in a moment. First off, we have another returning enemy. We have a white. It is level 25, it has 192 HP, no synergy, 205 attack, 55 defense, 54 agility and 2 luck. It has a Venus resistance of 25, a Mars resistance of 7, a Jupiter resistance of 48 and a Mercury resistance of 72, and it has a Mars elemental power of 80. It normally yields 92 experience points, which then become 119 if we finish it off with a margin. It drops 115 coins, which then become 149, and there is a 1 in 16 chances that then become a 1 in 4 that it will drop an elixir. As for its commands, it has a basic attack and the decompose and rotten blood monster skills, and it is accompanied by a firewall. Alright, so as I was saying, the Moai heads right here work exactly the same as the ones we saw in Air Rock, only this time with the giant vine we can actually use that to our advantage by using the vine to swing over, like this. So let's clear out the stun right here and then go back. Alright. So yeah, a kinda neat way to incorporate a previously used mechanic with the whirlwind. Alright. So we don't want to use whirlwind here because that will lead us to a dead end. We actually want to go down all the way. I'm not setting up a shortcut for Whirlwind because other than the outside section of Gaia Rock, we will not be using it for long. Alright, right here. This is a bit of an out section. So, the Moai heads here are not like the ones in Air Rock. That is because we have a new type of Moai heads, the hidden ones. These ones will jump out randomly if we touch them while we are climbing the walls. So basically we have to be very careful because otherwise we'll have to climb all the way back. So right here we want to actually go this way and then to the right, sorry, to the left right here, and take the long way around the big section right there, and here we are at the top. So we're getting there. There's not much left of Gaia Rock exterior to explore. And we got another drop, nice. Alright, right here. So we actually had to push the stump all the way down in order to advance, but if we jump through here, we can get an item. More specifically, an apple. So I think it was worth it. Alright. Now let's go ahead and move the stump. Alright. There we go. And right there we have another altar similar to the one that we saw at the very entrance of Gaia Rock. And we have 6 stumps in a very similar formation. Felix, check the altar. I'm sensing something. So yeah, of course, we have to use reveal. And we have what looks like a very strange doll. Felix found the dancing doll, but Felix's party can't carry anymore, of course. Alright, what can I get rid of? Actually, wait. Let's give this to Sheba, and now that they stacked, we should have one more space in our inventory. There we go. And we got the dancing doll. So, let's quickly inspect it. A sacred idol of unknown power. Very insignificant nitpick of mine. I hate how the icon does not resemble the doll at all. At least it looks like a cookie. At least you can make it green, you know, like the actual doll. But anyways, let's head to the entrance of Gaia Rock and see if we can do something about the doll. Well, but before that we have 2 returning enemies from the first game. First off, we have the Clay Gargoyle. It is level 25, it has 209 HP, 24 synergy, 210 attack, 90 defense, 84 agility and 7 luck. It has a Venus resistance of 48, a Mars and Mercury resistance of 100 and a Jupiter resistance of 127. And a Venus and Jupiter power of 100. It normally yields 100 experience points, which then become 130 if we finish it off with a Venus gene. It drops 147 coins, which then become 191, and there is a 1 in 32 chances that then become a 1 in 8 that it will drop a nut. As for its commands, it has the basic attack, the Sonic Wave monster skill, the Guard synergy, and the Spire synergy. And as for the other enemy, we have the Golem. It is also level 25, it has 266 HP, no synergy, 217 attack, 57 defense, 40 agility, and 2 luck. It has a Venus resistance of 193, a Mars and Mercury resistance of 100, and a Jupiter resistance of 25, and a Venus elemental power of 120. It normally yields 105 experience points, which then become 136 if we finish it off with a Jupiter Gene. It drops 161 coins, which then become 209. And there is a 1 in 64 chances that then become a 1 in 16 that it will drop a Bile. As for its commands, it has the basic attack and the Forcible Arm monster skill. Alright, so let's quickly take care of them. Alright, so now we can actually use the dancing idol on the altar here. And the two menacing dragon heads now move. So let's take the right door through here. And we have yet again the very same enemies. There we have the Guard synergy and just a basic attack. Come on, really? Okay, that should take it out. And it did. Nice. Okay, and right here we have a huge patch of weeds, and if we use Cyclone on them, they behave in an entirely different way than they've done before. But I'll go into more detail about that later. Here we have another returning enemy, the Dreadhound. It is level 25, it has 252 HP, no synergy, 211 attack, 56 defense, 90 agility, and 13 luck. It has a Venus and Jupiter resistance of 100, a Mars resistance of 175, and a Mercury resistance of 25, and a Venus and Jupiter power of 95 and a Mars power of 115. It normally yields 116 experience points, which then become 150 if we finish it off with a Mars Gene. It drops 176 coins, which then become 228, and there is a 1 in 64 chances that then become a 1 in 16 that it will drop a Prophet's Hat, which is actually an artifact which I'll go into detail once the battle is over. As for its commands, it has a basic attack, the Wicked Howl, Fire Breath, and Double Fang monster skills. Alright, there we go. So, quickly on to the Prophet's Hat. It is a piece of gear that provides a defense boost of 30, and it can be used from your inventory to inflict the death curse on a target. So, with that, we have actually gone over all the enemies that can be encountered in Gaia Rock, of course not taking into account the Mimic and the Serpent. So in order to make the exploration a bit smoother, I'm going to set up a shortcut for avoid. Since we're slightly above the level of the regular enemies, we should be able to avoid them entirely. So yeah, now the weeds are apparently creating floating platforms, and we can actually use those to explore Gaia Rock even further. So let's get to the entrance again and take the other door that we unlocked. Alright, here we are. And now we can finally take advantage of the platforms that we have created. And okay, here we are. And right there we have what looks like a ray of sunlight going through a hole in the wall, which is now being covered by the weeds. So let's quickly clear them out with Cyclone. And we're finally seeing a strong reaction from the serpent. It would seem that the sunlight will be our best chance at taking him out. So let's see if we can actually have all the rays of sunlight shining onto the room where the serpent is currently staying. So here we can just use the idol again. And there we have yet another ray of sunlight. So we are making some progress here. We have 2 more to go. Okay, so 2 things. First off, we have another altar right below, but right here we have a patch of weeds that we can completely avoid, but there's something hidden beneath. We have yet another mad plant. This one is level 28. It has 566 HP, no synergy, 254 attack, 65 defense, 114 agility and 20 luck. Its elemental resistances are the same as for any of the other mad plants that we have encountered so far. It normally yields 630 experience points, which then become 819 if we finish it off with a margin. It drops 451 coins, which then become 586. And it has a guaranteed drop of a potion. As for its commands, it has the basic attack and the poisonous bite monster skill, which the previous mad plants also had, and it has a new move, the Man-Eater monster skill, which is a basic attack or a non-elemental attack with a power rating of 50 that may drain HP from the target. So let's actually see if we can get the EXP and coin boost on it. I'm going to use 1 Ragnarok and 1 Serpent Fume, and then I'm going to boost Jenny. 200. Nice. And that should also be 200. Alright. Okay, so that should take it out. Yep, there we go. 119 and 586. And a potion. Okay, so right there we have yet another wall, like the ones we saw at the exterior section of Gaia Rock, and we also have the hidden Moe heads that we have to avoid. But before I deal with that, we actually want to go through that door right here, because that will take us to the altar that we just saw. Alright, 3 down, 1 more to go. So now we can climb the walls. So right here. We have to go all the way down through here, then up, then down, circle around here, and I believe all the way to the top, right here. Yeah. Alright, let's quickly use Whirlwind. And here we have the last altar, being suspended by a giant spiderweb, which always struck me as odd, because out of all the enemies in Gaia Rock, none of them should be able to create a spiderweb. The only one that maybe could do it is the fireworm, but well, whatever. If we use Cyclone on any of the weeds surrounding it, it will cause the altar to fall. All the way back to the main room that we saw a couple of rooms back. And now we can finally clear the way for the final ray of sunlight. Alright. So, we have now fully exposed the serpent to as much sunlight as we can. So let's actually head back to the entrance. Alright, so we made it to Mount Mikage. We fought the serpent and were very unsuccessful, but we made enough preparations and we may be able to take him out. And we're going to do that next time. See you guys!